Hi, this is Reverend L back here with you again. You know, with springtime, well, let me back up. It's the change of the seasons, and one of my favorite times of the year. We are moving into that, and it's springtime. And so I found a writing that I would like very much to share with you. And it's all about actually within ourselves to move forward in a very strong, productive manner. And it's about shaking off the kinks, shaking out the kinks from within ourselves, letting go of some of the sedentary behaviors and actions, attitudes, thoughts that we have perhaps kind of sat with during the winter months when we become more dormant. So this prayer is called the Knots Prayer, and it's K-N-O-T-S, the knots that we're tied up with. And this is by someone we all know as Anonymous. So the prayer reads, "Dear God, please unite the knots that are in my mind, my heart, and my life. Remove the have-nots, the can-nots, and the do-nots that I have in my mind." Isn't that something that we do? That we just carry over because we think we just have not either the ability or the interest? Then the poem moves on and says, "Erase the will nots, the may nots, might nots that may find a home in my heart." So we embody these why nots. I'm not going to do that. We have to then begin to think about springtime in terms of how Mother Nature begins to give a rise, a rebirth of herself, coming forward, birthing new energy. So we say to ourselves, release me from the could nots, would nots, and should nots that obstruct my life. That is so powerful. And most of all, dear God, this is a plea, it's a prayer to the God within. I ask that you remove from my mind, my heart, and my life, all of them knots, that I have allowed to hold me back, especially the thought that I am not good enough. Powerful, powerful. That I am not good enough. And the prayer ends with, Amen. And I think about the springtime, as I made mention as I began this conversation, that when that seed in the ground, in that warm soil, that begins to feel the rain and the moisture from the spring rains and the warmth of the sun, that says, I've got to grow. I've got to come alive again. I have to lift up. It doesn't say, I cannot. It says, I must go forward. When we begin to feel ourselves coming into this new day, into this springtime, time has changed, days are longer, opportunities for us to get out, do things in the yard, play with the kids, go for a ride, maybe even go out for an ice cream cone. But there's that aliveness that comes in us that just cancels the can-nots, because what we turn from is not the can-nots, but I will. Thy will be done. Ever heard of that? That's our truth. Thy will be done. So there's a revival that begins to happen within ourselves that says, I can do this, and I must do this, because there's no other way. And I'm no longer saying, I will not. So being in that presence of consciousness of mind, we just say, Amen.